of Smart 24 TV, we are blessed to have this evening to have a special discussion. The point, and we'll be making economic analysis, especially dealing with the analysis of economic opportunities for Uganda's external relationship with other countries. We'll ask ourselves a number of questions, but the major one is, what are our gains by participating in Somalia peacekeeping, Ethiopia relationship with Ethiopia? Of course, majorly looking at the new East African bloc that brings Democratic Republic of Congo on bloc. We also look at the global economic, political-economic politics, especially relating with other countries that either we deal with in terms of bilateral relations, and the recent one which is common, it's China, and there are others also which are key and they are trigger to support or deal with Uganda in different ways. We are blessed to be our dear guest, Major Retired Awik Pora, and he is the Director of External Affairs at the NRM Secretariat. We appreciate you, sir, to have honored our invitation and your valuable experience and your commitment to serve this country. We still appreciate it and we desire indeed to always share with us. You can greet the viewers.
Good evening, viewers. Thank you so much for the invite.
Oh yes, yeah, we are moving on forward. Our dear viewers and our dear guest, the deliberate reason why we come up with this discussion and indeed seek to partner with others to join in much more deeper discussion is to understand that Uganda and East Africa generally, we are living in a global community. But living in a global community and the actions either by the government of Uganda and the way especially we are dealing with external relations in this case, a lot has been observed. And I come from that background of environmental assessment of how our fellow citizens, some they know maybe with the existing of opening of embassies, Uganda deals with other nations, external, other countries, by opening embassies. There are many embassies today. We are blessed to be with you. You will give us maybe the number of embassies that we have. And from time to time, Uganda has taken keen interest in the global politics and basically to the understanding of what has been either shared or inspired as an inspiration to us from the head of state. He always refers to it as one which I remember is expanding and looking for market opportunities, especially for the commodities. That's what I recall, maybe it's more than that. But there are incidences which has occurred. Look at the Democratic Republic of Congo that has just recently joined. And there were a number of encounters in DRC as a neighboring country. And some Ugandans, some think either it is for opportunities that is for some few people. And yet we believe that our relationship with other countries is supposed to be opportunities to us. The other day, we had also an investment summit where Turkey, was welcomed here. And in the process of that relationship, it was revealed Turkey that we had grounds, we had good environment in Uganda to do business with them. The most recent fear, especially beyond Africa, it is China. China is perceived, our dear guest, and we come now to the viewers, in two ways. Some are looking at China as an exploitative country in terms of how they give loans with high interest and leave poor countries. There were, I believe this came to your knowledge, there were circulars all over how China may end up also becoming another indirect, what we call neo-colonialist country. But then that leaves some people to fear, and they see China, Chinese, and maybe they think otherwise. This is not a new current, as I conclude my preamble. We had some time back where the Indians, before the NRM government came into power, at a certain point, because of different perception from the Indians, as if like they were to deny our countrymen and women the opportunity to do business. And during the regime of Amin, he said, no. We cannot remain like this, where the Indians are getting much more benefits than our own people. He declared the war on the Indian, the economic war, you remember it very well. Then I guess we'll be going through a number of references, but it's important to look at whether we have maybe gains and losses in this kind of relationship of Uganda and with other countries, and basically referring also to East Africa and other countries. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the invitation for this evening discussion. This really falls squarely within my mandate in the party, because I'm Director of External Affairs. And my placement there means that the country, through the appointing authority, saw the importance of that docket.
Yes, sir.
Actually, loosely speaking, the three corners of a government or a country is actually the economy, defense, and external affairs. So when you have the three in place, if you have the economy in place, defense, which includes security, and your external affairs, you're good to go. In fact, you could have three ministries, and that is all, loosely speaking.
Yes, sir.
So, meaning that this topic is a very important topic to talk about. Now, relationships of any country, or Uganda in that case, is governed by what you slightly mentioned, by two aspects. There's the by, meaning between two people, and there's the multi, meaning between Uganda and other states. Bilateral relationship would mean Uganda and United States, where the two countries chooses at the level of their relationship they wish. If it is at the level of ambassadors, they exchange ambassadors, and that is bilateral relationship. Multilateral relationship means in a situation where Uganda has entered with other groups as other countries as a group, United Nations, African Union, and other economic blocs, including non-aligned movement and all those other organizations. So the external relationship of a country, and especially Uganda, therefore, is bound by these two relationships. Many of them, especially the multilateral ones, have obligations. When you sign such document, it is always entered into through an agreement, a discussed agreement, agreed an agreement, which can be a convention or whatever term the instrument is called, but it's normally an instrument. So if it is in that instrument, it always have obligations and responsibilities. What must you do when you are under this kind of arrangement? And in there, already it has the spirits of benefits. Therefore, it is important that a country be in this relationship. And as you said earlier, we are living in a global village. No country can afford to live in isolation. Even a country like Switzerland, which pursues what they call neutrality, I think their neutrality is only in as far as military aspect is concerned. Of course, for a long time they had stressed their neutrality even to UN. They are not members, but they eventually joined. And even now they have joined the border custom affairs. They now follow the same visa system of Europe. So the importance of a country being in this relationship is not doubted. Therefore, if I was to answer clearly about Uganda's, what does Uganda get from this relationship? They are very, very enormous. One is that even in areas of governance alone, without economic per se, in areas of governance, because you're not going to have economic benefit in a poor governance system. So you find that when Uganda enters into a multilateral relationship with other countries, it finds itself governed within the village, which has norms, do's and do nots. Example, human rights. You are bound by being in this obligation, like in United Nations under UDR, Universal Declaration of Human Rights. And you have other conventions, many conventions, economic and social, civil and political. You have convention against for the rights of the child, convention against discrimination of women. All these aspects of human rights and other instruments bring good governance. And therefore, you are not going to have good governance if, you're not going to have good economic benefits when you don't have governance. So, by entering into this, you really know that you're going to get economic benefits. The direct benefits, of course, is in what you sell and buy. What you sell and buy is always prompted by you entering, because of the economic interests you have, you find it easy to have an embassy. You could choose to do business, to have a relationship without that, but normally embassies are opened by states depending on the economic interests you have in that country. You feel that we're going to have so much of this and therefore our national interests will be scattered around. Okay.
As you go on, may I know how many embassies we have? Because the reason I'm posing that question, it happens to be, and it is common knowledge, that these embassies are facilitated by the taxpayers' money, or the Uganda, the government, and all the resources available. And we know we have embassies, quite number of them, and we also again compare the expenditure which spend on these embassies vis-a-vis what we gain. So how many embassies do we have all together? If at all you have the answer.
The embassies that we have now in total number I don't have. I wish you had asked me earlier. It is not difficult to get, but I think in view of the economic interest that Uganda has, NRM as a government has tried to revive as much as possible. You will realize that at some point we had an embassy in Cuba and then we closed. Of course, not because we don't treasure our Cuban relationship. If anything, we have one of the most important relationships with Cuba. And they are the first revolutionary countries we had in 86. But due to the economic constraints, at some stage, it was our embassy in Canada which was controlling the Cuban area. But now, there's we have re-established a fully fledged embassy in Cuba. So the number, I don't have it on my fingertips, but the spirit is the government has revived embassies in all areas of interest, including Turkey and others, including Angola. These were areas which earlier on didn't have embassy. But we have come to believe that those areas, after a critical economic analysis, we have interest there, and they have interest here. So we have it. So for the number, we can get it anytime, but we don't have.
Fine. We continue with our discussion, and before we go for a short break, as will come one of our colleagues, Mr. Alex Moyes, to be part of us, we realize that currently China is getting much more opportunities to invest and to deal with Uganda. What are we getting from China investment in Uganda?
China is really a big force now. You realize that China has overtaken Japan in the world economic order, and therefore any rich man, even in the village, you'd want to deal with him, because ideally the rich man in the village can bail you out. You can trade with him because he has money to buy what you have, and he has goods to sell to you. And at the same time, the other way around, the rich man in your village has money to buy what you produce, but also you have things to buy from him. So China is a big economy now. In most aspects, we have big investments, for example, in road construction, in infrastructural areas. And as you will know, such arrangement is a negotiated arrangement. Now, if we don't get the best out of it, then we don't have to blame China, but we blame ourselves for our negotiation capacity. But it's a relationship entered, even if China is a big economy, for sovereignty of states in international relations. The sovereignties of states, the sovereignty of states presumes equality. So, I will find time and explain at length, but suffice to say, the benefits between Uganda and China depends on our negotiation, because the two are sovereign states. If something goes on, then we have ourselves before not being organized to negotiate.
Thank you. Please stay tuned on Smart 24 TV, and we are also on GoTV channel 394. Please, we are going for a short break, commercial break. We will just meet in the next few hours. You see the worrying, the kind of blood relation with China.